getting a little tired of all the articles and videos online that are constantly talking about whether science and religion are enemies, whether they can coexist. And okay, I'll be honest, Truth Snack has made a video about that topic too. Okay, I'm not completely innocent. That question doesn't bother me the same way that it used to, mostly because of a conversation I had with a philosopher named Dr. Esther Meek. Dr. Meek talks about how the modern world thinks about knowledge, what it is, and where it comes from. She likes to use a daisy as an illustration. So last night I went for a walk to get a picture of a daisy.
So if you draw a daisy, we say, well, knowledge has to be distinguished from belief. So knowledge is in the center, belief is on a petal, and knowledge would be identical with science, and on the petal would be art, and in the middle, that would be identical with reason, and on the petal would be faith. So all those dichotomies, objective, subjective, private, public. Well, yay, knowledge, boo, belief. I just developed it so people could see everybody's got all these presumptions, this default about knowledge. It's like of a piece with modernity.
In the daisy of dichotomies, everything in the center are things which give us knowledge. Sometimes Dr. Meek will summarize this approach by calling it an information is knowledge approach. Sound familiar? But we can't forget that this is a daisy of dichotomies. A dichotomy is a division between things that are seen as opposed, enemies of each other. And so if a modern thinker sees science on the center of the daisy and religion on a petal, they're saying that religion is not a source of knowledge about reality. Neither is faith or spirituality or miracles or experience. Now, if you're a modern Christian, this might be the most uncomfortable a daisy has ever made you feel. You've probably already felt the tension of the daisy when I started this video by talking about experiencing God and hearing God. That might just sound like emotional, fluffy, daisy petal stuff to you. You like the sound of facts and science and reason, but there's also something in faith and religion and spirituality that you don't want to completely dismiss. And so it's tempting to keep the daisy of dichotomies, but just take some of the things that we like off of the petals and move them to the center of the daisy too. But Dr. Meek, in the cheeriest way ever, would suggest that we need to do something a little more dramatic.
So we really want to torpedo the daisy to mix metaphors.
Dr. Meek wants us to torpedo the daisy because if science and faith, reason and experience, the physical and the spiritual are all ways of encountering reality, then when properly understood, they shouldn't conflict. They're not enemies. This is where you might be a little hesitant. How do we accept something like experience as a source of knowledge about reality without going off the rails? Won't we be deceived or lost in anything goes subjectivity? I share that concern. And so you should track with Truth Snack this year because we're going to discuss that question and other questions like it. For now, I want to bounce off Dr. Meek's idea and set up a broad way for us to think about encountering God. Let's call it the umbrella of encounter. And I chose the word encounter very specifically. If I had called it the umbrella of experience, then we might think emotion, which we wrongly think conflicts with reason. And now we're right back to daisy of dichotomy thinking. And I don't want that. I want you to think of encounter as a broad umbrella with many things underneath it. Scripture and reason, experience, miracles, prayer, science. When all these things are properly understood, they work together to help us encounter God. That clip was from this longer video about encountering God. If you made it this far, I think you'll like this video. So watch it and just use the chapters in the playhead to skip the part you've already watched. I'll see you over there.